to CBS 42's Inside College Football, sponsored by Pepsi.
Nick Saban. Nick Saban all the way. Alabama's offense is going to roll big time tonight. AJ's going to have 400 yards passing. It's going to be unbelievable. Number one Heisman tonight, roll tide.
There is one game every year when Alabama fans know their team pushes all their national championship chips to the center of the table. That night is tonight. It is LSU and number one Alabama.
And these fans, as you get a look at them getting ready to come into Bryant-Denny Stadium, they had a look at on the road last year's game in Tiger Stadium, a classic, maybe hoping the Tide will finish the Tigers a bit earlier on tonight.
The crowd not as big as 2011 as you look around campus throughout the day, but it is still a huge night at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Welcome in live, Jim Dunaway along with Patrick Claybon. We'll get you to the CBS coverage in a moment. 2 times this year LSU's lost, both times on the road at Georgia, at Ole Miss. Tonight they're on the road here in Tuscaloosa.
And we'll see how the Tide will greet the Crimson Tide at home. Remember last year's game on the road in Tiger Stadium. Alabama's offense was slow going early. The late comeback, one of the greatest drives in Crimson Tide history, up there with that Iron Bowl in 2009 to get the win. The Tide looking forward to a physical matchup. They know LSU is going to bring the heat into Bryant-Denny tonight.
I always love playing these type of games. Everybody expects so much.
It's going to be a battle. Like I said, they had a week off, we had a week off.
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, especially when you always play LSU, you really don't want to practice because you know what's going to happen. It's going to be a big physical game for 4 quarters.
LSU always comes to play when they come to play us. You know, just like last year, before they played us, it kind of looked sluggish in some games, but I mean, I think they have the same skill level as we do, so it'll be a great game.
And so we see the skill level there from LSU in the loss to Georgia, but they're really different in the loss to Ole Miss.
Yeah, here's what happens when LSU loses football game. Take a look at the highlight. Jeremy Hill leads the nation when it comes to running between the tackles. But on the 2 losses at Georgia and at Ole Miss, LSU only averaged 2.7 yards a carry. Jeremy Hill talks about those losses and picking themselves up tonight in T-Town.
It does stink when you get a loss, and it does stick with you, especially losing that game, knowing it would have put us in position to win a national championship. It definitely hurts.
Still stings from last year's loss in Baton Rouge. Here's the SEC West standings as we stand right now. Alabama's on top, but Auburn already in the house with a win earlier today, and that makes that game with Georgia next week, and then later on in the Iron Bowl, more and more important. So tonight we got a kickoff coming up in a moment, CBS 42 with LSU and number one Alabama. Already the other team trying to answer in the SEC West has done that today.
Oh, they answered emphatically. A big-time running game in Knoxville. Lauren Sisler with the wrap-up for the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn head coach Gus Malzahn has warned his team all week long about the dangers of playing inside Neyland Stadium. Tennessee relentless at home. However, a sellout crowd here in the nation's 3rd largest college stadium, not enough to derail Auburn's turnaround season.
A very big win for us on the road against a team that's been playing extremely well at home. It was a great crowd. It was loud down there. It was a true team effort.
Despite a slow start, Auburn's offense finally cranked and never let off the gas. They compiled over 479 yards, and all but 35 of those yards were on the ground.
Successful day. You know, like I said, we're getting better every week, and we're showing it. And, you know, of course, the whole line, you know, we feel like they're the best in the country, and they're proving themselves. And, you know, me and Nick had to do our jobs, and that's the way it happened. We get wins like that.
It was just something the defense was giving us, and then I was able to make the correct reads, and our offensive line, they blocked their tails out, and they had big holes for me and Trey. We were just able to gas them.
We were able to run the ball. The blocking up front was phenomenal, and on the perimeter to spring, you know, 10-yard runs into 50-yard runs. And, you know, Nick and Trey and the entire backfield, and, you know, they ran the ball hard. And, you know, we feel like if they're going to run the ball hard, we might as well block hard for them.
Special teams provided a nice supplement to the Tiger offense. Chris Davis returned a punt for an 85-yard touchdown in the first half, and then Corey Grant opened the second half with a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
It was just great blocking, and I saw where the defense over-pursued it on one side, and then I just cut it back, and from there it was a touchdown.
It mean a lot, you know. I still say I should have been back there 2-3 years ago, you know. But I'm glad. I thank Coach Malzahn and Coach Found for giving me the opportunity to do that, and I'm taking advantage of it.
This is the first time in school history that a punt and a kickoff have both been returned for a touchdown in the same game. So historic day adds to a storied season now as Auburn heads home to get ready to play Georgia and Alabama to close out the regular season. In Knoxville, Lauren Sisler, CBS 42 Sports.
Thanks, Lauren. Tiger fans may be concerned about the passing game, but why do it if you don't need to, right?
Their next concern is the BCS standings. Auburn will be moving up. Later tonight, after LSU and Alabama, stay with us. Our 10 o'clock news. Trent and the guys and Sherry will be back in studio. We'll have the Nick Saban news conference live for you when the CBS broadcast is done tonight. More ICF before we turn it over to the CBS crew when we come back.
Hey, we are having a blast out here at the T-Town tailgate.
That's right. Kind of cloudy now. I'll let you know if that changes. Of course, the very latest in news, weather, and sports, all the great highlights of the Bama game coming up after the football game.
We'll see you then.